Good evening, good evening. Hey Joanna, how are you doing? Thanks for popping on. Hello and welcome. My name is Heather. I'm otherwise known as the Songbird Stamper, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Fareham in the UK. And I'm back with a Thursday night YouTube live for a bit of crafting and a bit of chat and a bit of fun. So yeah, if you're watching live, welcome. If you're watching on the replay, then thank you so much for catching up and joining us. And I thought I'd have a bit of a play with this stamp set. It's quite new to me. And a couple of colours that, again, I mean, I'm terrible with the in colours. These are 2022 to 2024 in colours. Hello, Carol. Nice to see you this evening. We've got Tahitian Tide and Orchid Oasis. And yeah, I don't normally catch on with the in colours until like it's too late and they're about to go. But I thought I actually saw something on Pinterest with these colours and this stamp set, and so I've been massively inspired. I can't who is it by? Let's have a quick look just while I kind of wait for a few people to hop on. Obviously I've done a completely different card, but yeah, it was a lovely colour combo that I haven't really kind of played with much, those in colours, and a new stamp set to me. So the card I was inspired by was by Cheryl Miller from Australia. Who's got this stamp set? Great font. Love the font in this. Thank you for everything. Thinking of you. You mean the world to me. So some brilliant sentiments, brilliant leaves. I'm just going to show you a couple of ways to use them, really. So let's pop those to one side. We're working with white, so quite often you kind of think, oh, I need a third colour. So it's Tahitian Tide, Orchid Oasis, and white this evening. Oh, have you done anything with it, Joanna? It's quite new to me. Like I say, I hadn't really done. I don't think I've done anything with it. So it was nice to bring it out and have a bit of a play. So I've got some basic white cardstock. As usual, my desk is an absolute mess. I've actually just been playing Mario Odyssey on the Switch. And I was like, oh, I'm in the middle of defeating Bowser, but I have to go. I just defeated him with a little couple of minutes to spare. So so you've had it for a while. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, lovely leaves. And I'm just cutting this piece of white to 14 by 10 for this first card. Second card we're going to make two tonight. The second card's going to be slightly different because we're going to bring in another die set. I'm just going to get a piece of scrap paper because I like my grid paper to stay clean while I'm working with it on a live. Oh, hey Claire, nice to see you. Oh, you don't have it yet. I might tempt you, Carol. Let's have a go, shall we? Let's see what I can do. Okay, so I've got white embossing powder. I need some Versamark. I need to clean my stamp just first. Again, totally should have done this beforehand, but you know, I got carried away. I've just invested in a stamping scrub, so we'll see how I get on with it. Oh, one sheet wonder would be amazing with this. Beautiful stamp set. We're going to emboss with it. So I've got Versamark. I've got 1, 2, and 3, and this one here as well. These are lovely. Lovely little things. Hey Katie, nice to see you. Ah, Mandy, nice to catch you live too. Well, I'm live catching you. How are you doing? All right. It's been a while. And all we're going to do is randomly stamp. So Versamark can be quite hard to see. I might enable you, Carol. To be honest, I'm quite pleased with how these come out. My normal colours are pink and purple, as most of you will know. But I've gone a bit out of my comfort zone with blue here. And yeah, I'm liking what I've come up with, which is sometimes it works, doesn't it? And sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so what I'm going to do, crocheting a purple parrot. That sounds interesting, Katie. So what I'm going to do is just kind of stamp one at a time. I mean, I can see it, but only just. And if you can't see it, I might actually do a couple. If you can't see it, the way to get around kind of not being able to see what you're doing is to stamp a couple and then use the embossing powder. Just make sure you tap off all of the excess, and then you'll be able to see where you've stamped. Good evening, Judy. Lovely to see you. Sat down with a nice chill glass. Oh, that sounds divine, Monday. Sounds like my kind of evening. Bless you. Blue, no, not blue leaves. Although, yeah, actually, I have got blue leaves on here. Yes. I know I should have gone green, but you know, I'm not really a green. Mary Burford is my green lady. I'm not so green. So this little one is just a little bit of an infill. And then I'm kind of copying what I did earlier just because I know that worked. This one's lovely with it. It looks like zebra leaves. We're almost doing like a one sheet wonder here. We're just kind of stamping randomly. So use that embossing powder and you'll be able to see. I've even got the additions toolkit, but I haven't, like with the tray, but I haven't yet gone for it. I haven't opened it up. Where are we going? Somewhere like that. And then we'll have another one of these. It's like a creeping vine. I quite like this one. You do. It's bonus days. Who's not heard of bonus days? Bonus days with Stampin' Up at the moment. So Joanna's just written there for those not kind of watching the chat. You get £4.50 coupon for every £4.50 spent with Stampin' Up in July, and you get to redeem the coupons then in August. So a nice little bonus for shopping. Basically, you get 10% back. And you can spend the coupon with any demonstrator you wish. And yeah. And I've got my sale going, my retired product sale, bog off. I hate that saying, actually. I buy one, get one free. So if anybody's looking for any crafty bargains, feel free to head on over to my Songbird Stampers retired product sale. And for equal value, so whatever you spend in retired product, you get to order through the catalogue. So yeah. There's online exclusives. July's a busy month. Yeah, so for every £45 spent, I don't know what I said, sorry. For every £45 you spend, you get a £4.50 coupon. I might have said that wrong. It's entirely possible. And then we're just going to pop a little one. I like this little one. He's cute. So he's just going to come in the top like that. I'm trying to do I find Stampin' with Versamark and embossing powder quite fiddly. I mean, I love it and it's absolutely brilliant, but I just have to be mindful of what I'm doing because I can end up stamping where I don't want to, or putting my stamps in the embossing powder. That's another good one, rather than the stamp pad. Yeah, so there's online exclusives. We've got some new releases, and what's the other thing going on this month? Something else happening. Oh, the clearance rack has been up refreshed as well. For those that didn't know that. So we can now heat emboss this. This is white. You could do this with clear as well. I really actually should have tried it with clear, because as I was doing this last time, I was like, oh, I wonder how that would look with clear, just because it brings more of the actual white of the paper rather than the embossing powder can be a little bit creamier. But I'm just going to heat emboss that, and I'm hoping my new microphone is going to block the sound out for me. So you guys are going to be able to tell me whether you can hear my embossing heat tool or not. Oh yeah, and new kits are available. There's a couple of lovely new kits. I'm going to get the beach one, I think. But for now, we are just going to chill out and do some crafting. So this heat sets beautifully. Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, that's good. So, I mean, you wouldn't be able to hear me normally. I have to do this kind of away from the microphone. But that's great that it's not deafening you. So you can still kind of hear it, but not like mega loud. That's brilliant. Okay, so then we're going to bring in our blending brushes. So I've got one kind of light blue, one kind of dark blue. So we've got Tahitian Tide and Orchid Oasis. Now I've just re-inked these, so they are a little bit juicy. So I'm just going to try and get the worst of it and load up the ink, the brush, but get the worst of it off. And then we're just going to go in and add some of this gorgeous, gorgeous colour. This would work really nicely with Azure Afternoon as well, I think, but I just haven't played with these two colours, Tahitian Tide and Orchid Oasis, as much as I should have. For it is a beautiful blue. Isn't that gorgeous? And then we can pull in the Orchid Oasis. So again, just getting rid of it's quite vicious. So I'm just going to get rid of the worst of it on the side there. But we want to blend the two together, and that's the key. So just going over that line where the other one was. I always say build up the colour slowly. Oh, it's lovely, isn't it, Mandy? Comes out brilliantly. Orchid Oasis is a lovely colour, Katie. Yeah. Don't really understand why I haven't played with it so much. And then you can go back in with that Tahitian Tide, that lighter blue brush, and go over that blend line just to smooth the two together. And then we're going to repeat the same up the top as well. So some more Tahitian Tide. And you could absolutely do this with any colour you wanted to. Oh, they're not on my list to bring, Katie. If I remember to put them in, I will try. But they are lovely. The new colours, Bubble Bath, Azure Afternoon, and Lemon Lolly. I will try, but I haven't packed yet, and I'll be packing first thing in the morning. I should have packed today ready for class tomorrow, but I like to pack the morning of, you know, because I need stuff tonight. I don't like to prep too early. And I'm just going to go back in with this Orchid Oasis, also silly one, Orchid Oasis, and just make that a little bit darker if I can do. I'm playing with blue tomorrow in class as well. Got a lot of blue cards for you. So we're just adding in a little bit more of that Orchid Oasis. Yeah, I will do my best. If you want to ping me a message in the morning before 8 o'clock, I will have a better chance of remembering. So then I'm just going to grab some, this is just toilet roll. I mean, it's not ideal. Kitchen roll is better for crafting, and I'm just going to wipe over those stamped images. Because what's happening here is it's the emboss resist technique with blending. So where we've embossed, and can you see, look, the colours come off the emboss because it doesn't stick to the embossing powder that we've heated. So we just need to rub over that gently. And that's going to create us a lovely background. I think we're even going to be done early. These are quick but effective cards. I think you might agree. So somebody might see these and some swaps coming up soon. You never know. So I've got some water. And now this is just normal basic white cardstock. Okay. But it will take a little bit of water. And this is a really great technique. Just add some splatters of water. Can you see instantly that it's reacting with the ink? And obviously the wetter your paintbrush is, the more splatters you're going to get. And you can just try and direct them where you want them. Ah, hey Mary. This would look great in green as well, but I've gone blue. I've gone very blue today. And that's enough for me, I think. Enough splatters. And then you kind of just want to leave that to dry, but it won't take long. And that is your background. So simple, so effective. So to make that into a card, I like to say with backgrounds, you don't need to do much for the actual frontage of the card. That is the card. So all we're going to do is grab a piece of thick basic white cardstock, and we're going to cut that down to 14.5. Just trying to see if there's a corner that needs cutting off. 14.5. We are going to score that at 10.5. And then that's going to really pop when we put it onto that white background. And we can just stick that down with some normal Tombow, tape runner, whatever you want. So can you see it's just buckled ever so slightly the back of the card with that water. That's why you don't use this kind of cardstock to use a lot of water with. It looks great when you just add a few splatters. It's a great set for the emboss resist technique, this one, especially with this leaf here. So make sure that's stuck all the way down. Ah, you're watching the tennis. I went to the tennis the other day. I went to Eastbourne. I don't watch tennis. I'm not a fan of tennis, but I am very much the kind of person, if I'm invited to go and do something, it's very rare I'll say no, because I think life's for living and we should get out there and enjoy it. So my friend said to me, would I like to go to the tennis? So I said, yes, I would. And we caught the train down to Eastbourne and I had a lovely day. It was raining, so it was a little bit higgledy-piggledy start, but it stopped raining in the afternoon. It was all right, Johanna. I did say to my friend at one point, I can't actually tell whether I'm riveted or bored out of my brain. I really just couldn't tell which one it was. So I think there were moments where I was thoroughly enjoying it and then moments where I was just bored. But then, so I'll explain what I'm doing and then I'll chat some more. So I've just grabbed a blending brush, again, Orchid Oasis and Tahitian Tide, and we're going to create an ombre effect on this leaf. So just going to grab some of the Orchid Oasis and dab that on, and then up the top some of the Tahitian Tide and dab that on as well. So right near the end, as we were about to leave to catch the train, I said, should we go and steal someone else's seats? Because they weren't sitting in it and we were only going to be 5 minutes. And the guy on the gate very kindly let us, and we were right down ringside. That's probably not courtside. Is that how you say it? And right at one end as well, where he had been all the way up the top in the middle. And it was such a different perspective. So, and you felt part of the action. I could hear him breathing. I could hear the tennis player breathing. And I could, every shot was kind of, A, you think you're going to get hit by the ball, but B, you were super absorbed with it all. So I said to her, I think if I came back, that's where I'd want to sit. And it was just, I'm glad we did that because it was a completely different vibe. So now I've just stamped that, and look at the beautiful effect that you get with that ombre, with that blending brush. So it was a lovely day out. I tried to watch some tennis on the TV again yesterday. I'm just not the kind of person that can sit there and watch something like that. It's not enough action for me, but it was lovely. Great experience, and I would probably go back again, but am I going to become a tennis aficionado? No, probably not. I can see the lure of it, but yeah, I need more excitement, I think. I like watching the rugby, although I fall asleep to that normally. And I play hockey, so I enjoy watching the hockey. More to try and learn the rules and figure out what I'm doing. I'm not very good. I was playing in one match one time, and I'm playing in defence. They still haven't worked out where to put me after 2 years, so I play a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And so this match I was in defence, and this player just kept running at me, and I was like running away from her. And all of a sudden, across the pitch, someone shouted, "Turn at her and defend!" And I was like, oh yeah, that's what I'm here for. But I do enjoy it, and everyone gets a go. It's a very inclusive club. So if anyone fancies a go and you live in Hampshire, we're always looking for new players. Give me a shout. Even Stevens, first set. Who's he playing, Mary? I did watch a bit yesterday, and they said he was going on, that whoever it was, that dude was going on to play Andy Murray, but I can't remember who it was. So I'm just fussy cutting this now. They are, sadly, this would have been an amazing set for some leaf dies, but there are no dies for this set. It does come as a bundle, but it comes as a bundle with vellum, which I forgot to order. I forgot it came with vellum, so I don't have it. But oh, no worries, Kate. No, neither can any of us. That's why we need more players, because there's a few very, very kind of committed, but I can't. I'm a shift working, and I'm running a business, and all sorts. So I cannot either commit to anything regularly. So I don't go very often. That's why I'm not very good at it. So I've got a piece of cardstock, just wide enough. This is one of my offcuts, actually. So this is 3/4 of an inch. So I don't know how many centimeters that is. 2 centimeters. So whatever it is, I've got lots of this width in my scraps box. So I've just grabbed a piece, and I'm going to cut it to 10 centimeters. Titispas. Somebody. Okay, cool. Bless you. So one end is not straight, so let's cut that straight. 10. So let's cut that to 10. And then I'm going to use, I'm wondering if this thinking of you sentiment would fit on, because I need a thinking of you card. I had used this "You Mean the World to Me" because that fits on brilliantly. But let's just have a look and see if this other one fits on. I haven't even mounted. I tend to mount my stamps as I go. Anybody else mount as they go? So whichever ones I use get mounted, but I've put them somewhere on my desk. Here it is. So the ones I use are mounted, and the ones that are not mounted. So you can tell, I can easily tell how many stamps I've used out of a stamp set. It's not why I do it. I do it just because I'm a bit lazy, but okay. Let's have a look. Thinking of you. Because with a Thinking of You card as well, you don't want it kind of over the top. So I think it's going to be perfect if that sentiment, yes, that will fit beautifully. So I'll bring in the Orchid Oasis, just the darker of those two. Was that random letter string the name of tennis player? Yes, it was. I think it was the tennis player, but I'm not saying it again. I'm going to embarrass myself live on YouTube twice in one evening. So that's just going there. Thinking of You. And then this is going to pop up. This is a super quick card, honestly. Pop up straight on dimensionals. Hence why we're going to get two. And the other one's just as quick. It's not like me to make quick cards, but sometimes that's just what comes out. So let's pop this on here. I've actually put this on upside down. That's okay. I mean, it is multi-way. It doesn't matter. It's just that's not the way up I planned to have it. So I think that's straight. So we can push that down. And then that leaf's going to go across there. Stuff in the parrot now. Oh, don't pronounce the first T. You're not spelling it again either, Mary. I don't blame you. It's quite complicated. So let's just pop a little dimensional down here. And then these mini, if you've not seen these mini dimensionals, these are fab. Just for the ends of the leaves here to give it some stability. And then that's going to sit over like that. And we'll pop a little bit of glue just in the middle. I haven't even put any gems on this because I really just don't think it needs it. That's that. Oh, a green parrot. I was trying to work out why the tennis player would be green. Gosh, my mind. Okay, and that is that's card number one. I feel like I've kind of not done enough, but I just think that's right. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Joanna. Yeah, I just think that's enough. Just a simple kind of Thinking of You card. So that's number one. 28 minutes past. Ah, thanks, Judy. Judy, have you managed to get to your craft group yet? I know you were hoping to. So the next card, I brought in these dies. This is the Gorgeous Garden dies, and I've used this one with a watercolour card that I did not too long ago. But I thought I'd have a go with this one. Ah, thank you, Carol. Katie, your message is retracted. That's quite bold, isn't it? Retracted. But it's these, just bear in mind with these dies, as gorgeous as they are, and I've left my ruler downstairs, they are made for the American card size market. So we just have to be a little bit mindful about changing the way we do something. So it's 10 centimeters by 13.5. So it's a little bit shorter. I don't really want to show you the one I've made because then you might all disappear. So the way I'm going to do it is just to cut the cardstock down to size. And then I'll tell you what size I've cut. I probably should have found a better way to do this. So I'm going to cut it to 10.3. 10.3 by 14. no, 10.3 by 13.8. Let's do that. 10.3 by 13.8, and that will give you an even border all the way around, because these dies don't cut out, they cut in. So there's no edge to the die. Oh, Judy, I'm so pleased that you've managed to get to going to those. Really pleased. Hopefully you'll have a blast with them. Okay, and then that's going to go through the cut and emboss machine. Always put them through with the corner first if you're doing anything like this, because that basically I look at it as a bit of a speed bump. So if you put, I'm just going to turn a light on. If you put this through your die cut machine this way, it's got to get over this massive speed bump, whereas you put it in this way, it's just got to get over this tiny corner, so it can be a little bit more friendly on your machine. I'm hoping once through is enough. It looks like it's cut beautifully. So we can just peel that away. Always just be nice and gentle when you're taking delicate die cuts out of the die cutting of the die. Some of the bits will fall out and some will just need to give a bit of encouragement too. So I just bring in the pokey tool. But yeah, it's cut brilliantly. Concentration as I try and get all these little bits out. We had a barbecue for tea tonight. Ross finished work at 4 o'clock. He was like, oh, do you know what I fancy for tea? A barbecue. Oh, and we didn't have any bread rolls. We had burgers and sausages in the freezer. We had some flatbreads. And I tell you what, I would do that again. A flatbread. It was so good with the burger inside it. And yeah, a bit unusual, but really nice actually. Yeah, it was lovely. Just sat out in the sunshine. And he cooks when it's a barbecue as well. So I was just sat there reading my book while he made tea. I've been doing a lot more of the cooking recently because I got some new cookbooks. Joe Wick's cookbooks. Absolutely brilliant. Loving cooking again. And yeah, left him to it today. Going to see Jenny soon. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, she did say she was looking forward to coming up to Blackpool to see you. I think that's mainly what she's looking forward to, Jenny. I'm not convinced she's overly looking forward to Blackpool. She may correct me, but that's what I got from the conversation. So there's our gorgeous die cut. Beautiful. Okay, so we are going to grab another piece of cardstock that measures, what did I say, 10? I can't remember. I'll measure it again. All right. 10.2. I'm just measuring it a millimetre under. So it was 10.3 by 13.8. So I'm going to do 10.2 by 13.7, just so it sits nicely underneath. So 10.2 by 13.7. I think that's cut to 10 already. Yeah. So let's grab it like this. 13.7. And 10.2. It's lovely, isn't it? I love these dies. Again, great for a quick and simple card. So I've got my two blending brushes again. Same colours, Orchid Oasis and Tahitian Tide. And I'm just going to start with Tahitian Tide. I'm going to bring in my scrap piece of paper just so I can keep my grid paper clean. And I'm going to start at the top with a really, really light Tahitian Tide at the top here. And sometimes when you're blending, you get a few kind of errant marks in there. And actually with this card and the one before, because you've got the water droplets on the one before, and because we're covering it up with this one, it doesn't actually matter too much if you haven't got the smoothest of blend. Obviously, I will always try to get the smoothest of blend. And the way you do that is by not overloading the ink. So I've just got a little bit of... a tiny little bit of ink on here, and I'm just it's kind of repetition rather than thinking you can do it quickly. No, but they're doing the lakes and a couple of other trips. Ah, lovely. Oh, that's brilliant. My friend lives up by Blackpool, I think Preston way, and yeah, he lives in the country. There's some beautiful areas up there. I did for a time live in near Sheffield, just on the outskirts of Sheffield, and that's the same. People think, oh, it's a city, but actually there's some beautiful countryside. And it doesn't matter that we've got this kind of dark line at the top, because we're going to cover that up with our die cut. So we're just trying to get a little bit darker as we go down. So just going to pick some more of that ink up, trying to take the worst of it off. Again, it's looking a little bit iffy, but that's because I've just re-inked my ink pads. And then we can start to bring in this Orchid Oasis. Again, trying to get it darker at the bottom. So we're trying to get this ombre effect from light to dark, although I haven't got very light at the top. It's a bit dark, but it'll do. It looks better on camera than it does in real life. And I'm struggling. I think I need to clean these blending brushes. I don't normally bother, but just might be due for a bit of a spa treatment. Just feel them getting a little bit rough. They get a lot of use in this house. I might just bring in a new one if I've got one in the drawer. 2 secs. I've got some little ones. Maybe not. Maybe I've only got little ones. So we'll just take it slow. Thornton Cleveleys. Ah, away from Blackpool. Cool. So is that your nearest kind of city, Judy? Yeah, you can see, look, it's giving me these kind of, so I'm going to have to go over this. It's giving me these odd marks, this blending brush. So I think it's time for a bit of a refresh. But we'll get most of those out just by blending, taking our time. And then obviously we're going to add something over the top of it anyway. So, and then the trick just to try and blend that middle line. And getting darker. It does always take longer than I think to get a good blended background. I do see people in classes trying to get it done within a few swipes, and the best bet is just to keep building it up in these layers. So just run them under the tap actually, but I'm going to give it a go with some soap. So somebody said put some, just like some hand soap or some fairy on them and just give them a little bit more of a spa treatment. So yeah, warm water. I normally just run them under the cold tap and then leave them to dry. But they're just starting to, the bristles are starting to flatten, I think, on the end. So actually massaging a little bit of soap in there, obviously rinsing it out completely. Otherwise we'll end up with a bubbly background. Rinsing it out completely afterwards, and then just leave them to naturally air dry. It's not often I do them at all, but I think it might be time. So you can grab a little bit more of that Tahitian Tide if you want to come back in and just blend over that middle line. Blend the two together. This is a bit darker than the one I was going for earlier, but I'm happy with that blend there. Yeah, a little bit of baby shampoo. I don't know, it's a little bit more gentle maybe than normal shampoo. And then that just goes over the top. Gorgeous, huh? So all those tiny little imperfections that you would see, you'll kind of get rid of them. No, I've never done mine either, Mary, most of them. I did my green one for the first time the other day. So much ink came out of it. Absolutely amazed me. But yeah, it's just, can you see the bristles just separating? I'm trying to find a kind of a newer one. This is a small one. Oh, this one hasn't had as much use. But it's, no, that's hard to see. Let me show you a brand new one. And they're so smooth and soft and gentle. Can you see? Come on, camera. And then there's the one next to it. So they're just getting a bit of separation. So yeah, it'll be good to, there you go. We're good to give those a little bit of a shampoo, I think. Bring them back to life. And then we're just going to use a little bit of glue. So the way I do this is do a little bit around the edge. The fine liquid glue would be good for this as well. But just try and do a really thin, narrow border all the way around the edge. Practicing my dexterity. And then I just go on the big bits. So on the flowers, a dab on the leaves. Anywhere where you've got a bit of space for a bit of glue. I do not try and do each individual line. I don't have the patience for that. And it's just not necessary. The Tombow glue is so strong. That it just needs a few dabs here and there to hold everything down and together. I think that's enough. Yes, West Sussex. I'm hoping to come down your way again, Mary, soon. In the depths of wherever you are. I can't remember. Somerset. Is it Somerset? And then you're just going to line this up. You can do it either way. You can put this one on top, or you can turn this round and put the other one underneath. Either way. And it doesn't matter. So I've got more over this side than I have over this side. As long as the background isn't showing underneath, which it is a little bit. So I'm just going to pull it over. But you could trim that off too. And then give that a good old press down. I know, Mary, I keep saying it, but I am going to make it happen. Just need to find some time in my life. So maybe Christmas. And then that's going to go on there. And then we're going to do, I think I'm going to do You Mean the World to Me. So grab another little strip out of my box. I don't know what I cut that must have 2 centimetre offcuts. It must be card. It must be when I've cut the card down to mats and layers, because I've got that many of them. So I'm just going to chop it to 10. So this time I'm going to bring in that You Mean the World to Me sentiment. Just because the other one, so the only other one there is Thank You for Everything. That would be good though, wouldn't it, if we could get that to fit on there? Because that's a great sentiment for this kind of card. Where you just want a quick but really beautiful. Okay, so You Mean the World to Me. I'm going to try and kind of centre that over to the right hand side there. Oh, have I done this? So I think I've done this wrong. So this didn't want to be cut to 10 because it's too short. It needs to go over the front of the thing. So let's just get rid of that. We'll use it on something else. Let's find another 2 centimetre strip. And it wants to be cut to 10 point, did I say 10.2? No, 10.3. So we're just going to trim it to 10.3. That's the width. And then we can stamp that again. Okay, You Mean the World to Me. And then that one can go on dimensionals. Can you see now that's a better fit right across the middle. And then I'll show you how to make the card base size to fit this. Because, yeah, these are made for the American card size market. So we just have to do a little bit of adapting to make that fit our needs with our size cardstock. Because American size cardstock is different to UK size cardstock, if you didn't know that. So I'm just using the grid paper here to help me line that up. So I've lined the bottom of my card up on a straight line. And now I'm just going to line up the left and right sides, and I know that's all nicely lined up. We're going to do exactly the same with the leaves. Nothing, we're not reinventing the wheel here. So Orchid Oasis on the bottom of the leaf. And you're kind of looking for that kind of muddy look here, where you've not got, it's not a definitive line. So you just bring in and then blend out those two together. And that's how you get that nice ombre look. Oh, they're in the purple house. Yippee! When do they start? September? Is it not long to go till the summer holidays now, is it? Bless them. Are they looking forward to it? Or are they nervous? I imagine it's probably a bit of both, isn't it? I mean, it's so daunting. Even like as an adult, kind of starting a new job or moving areas, finding friends, it's hard, isn't it? So to ask our children to do that kind of thing quite regularly, actually. I mean, I know they're very adaptable, but still hard. Oh, I'm pleased. Yeah, that's good. Taster days are always good. Not that I would know, not having children, but I'm sure that will have helped. Got any nice plans for the weekend then? What are you up to? I've got a busy old Saturday teaching the watercolour course first thing, and then I've got stamp camp as well, so I'll be busy with that in the afternoon. Tomorrow's full on. I've got a class, and then I'm gardening, and then I'm going to a class, which I'm very excited about. My kind of little bit of respite where I get to switch off and be a customer for a little bit. I don't have to think, just do what I'm told. I'm probably a pain, but this would work, I think, nicely with Starry Sky as well, this colour. And I tried to bring in the speciality. This is lovely. If you haven't seen this, like shimmer, look at that. But it was just it's a bit too dark. I don't know. Oh, Bombay Sapphire Gin Distillery. Oh, I know it's pretty. This is lovely. It comes in some great colours as well. So nice. But I couldn't seem to make it fit in. Yeah, Joanna, see you on Saturday morning. Really excited for that. Cards came together beautifully when I tried to make them a while ago, so I hope you like them. And then that leaf is just going to fit over there like that as well. So exactly the same as before, a little bit of dimensional on the bottom. So a big dimensional on the bottom, and then some little ones on the upper leaves. Oh, I'm running out of these. I've just got 3 left. 1, 2, and then 1 hiding in the corner down here. 3. And then we'll make the card base. Glue on the back. Just like that. Okay, so we need to grab up ourselves a piece of thick, basic white cardstock. Out tomorrow eve. Oh, Joanna, not out, are you? I haven't been out for years. I don't think I'd be a bit worse for wear. I think I'd be in bed still. So we're going to cut this to exactly the same height as this was. So that was 13.8. So there's no border on this. Okay, so whatever height you cut this to, and we cut it to 13.8. That's how high we're going to cut our card base. And then we're going to score it. So it wants to be 10.3. So that's 20.6. Rather than 21, we're going to cut it down to 20.6. Just trimming a little bit off the end. Again, we're going to score it at 10.3. Oh, leaving do. Yeah, those are the kind of things I don't go to. Or if I do, I'll hide in the corner with 1 drink, and that is it. Because I know what I'm like. I'm a nervous drinker. So if we go to a party, we went to a neighbour's party a few years ago. Oh gosh. Oh, it was bordering on embarrassing, I think. And we excused ourselves. Neither of us are big drinkers. But yeah, if I get nervous and I've got access to food and drink, I will just eat and drink. And I was like, I think we need to go home before we really embarrass ourselves. I mean, I don't think we were any worse than anybody else there, but you know how you can feel it in yourself. So I thought that was probably, and we haven't actually been to one since. I'd love to again, but it's not that we're avoiding them. We forgot to go at Christmas. We were invited to a Christmas party and we RSVP'd saying that we would go. And then 3 days after the party, Russ was like, when's the neighbour's Christmas party? I was like, oh man, that was 3 days ago and we've totally forgot to go. And that's just going to fit beautifully onto the front of your card. So no border on that one. Yeah, no, honestly, we did. I would have loved to have gone as well. I was a little bit gutted, to be honest. I would have loved to have gone to a Christmas party, but yeah, we were just sat at home, chilling out, watching the TV. A bit bored, to be honest. Kebab wraps for dinner, but he ate too much of a little. Oh dear, he's feeling a bit sore. Bless him. Bless his cotton socks. So there are our 2 cards. So we've got a Thinking of You They look really similar, don't they? I mean, it's because we've used exactly the same colours, but totally different. That's got the die, the blended background and the die cut, and that's the emboss resist technique. No, Katie, I didn't, because I forgot who invited us as well. I can't even remember what number it was at. Never met them before, so very embarrassed. But you know, such is life. And then we were invited to one next weekend as well, but I've got team training. I know Russ doesn't really enjoy them, bless him. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So yeah, that's it. So lovely stamp set. Botanical Layers. Comes with vellum, which I am going to get actually, because I've quite enjoyed working with this set, and I think some vellum would be good. Lovely stamp set, just standalone, no dies. My absolute pleasure. Gorgeous colours. Yeah, if you don't have them, Orchid Oasis and Tahitian Tide. Beautiful, beautiful. And then yeah, feel free to come on over and join my retired product sale and see if there's anything that you might fancy from there and get yourself some bargains. Basically, you get the retired product for free. You get to place an order from the kind of current offerings. So anything that takes your fancy. And I will see you all again. Yeah, I'm here next Thursday. I've taken some time off work, so I will be around next Thursday for another live. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. Love chatting to you all on a Thursday evening. Took us all the way up basically to 9 o'clock, and I'll catch you again really soon. Have a lovely weekend, whatever you are doing. Enjoy the rest of the tennis. Oh yeah, no worries. See you in the morning, Katie. So whoever I'm seeing tomorrow, see you tomorrow. Whoever I'm seeing Saturday, see you Saturday. And for those who don't live near me, I'll see you next Thursday. Thanks ever so much. Take care, guys. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.